Greetings and welcome to ACT Virtual. A quick introduction about myself. I'm Chintan Sopariwala, Vice President and General Manager of Navistar's Connected Vehicle Division. As part of this role, I'm responsible for establishing and implementing a connected vehicle strategy with, of course, the customer in mind. Our goal at Navistar is pretty simple: making life easier for our customers. I consider myself very fortunate to be part of the connectivity platform in our industry. You may ask, why is that? The answer is pretty simple. Because I get to work with some of the sharpest minds in the business and use latest technologies to make lives better. Over the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will highlight some of the advancements in this space and how a fleet can successfully use vehicle connectivity to lower their total cost of operation. Let me start by saying I'll be covering three main areas today. Number one is vehicle connectivity. Number two is taking control of your data. And then number three is how big data is changing the game in vehicle connectivity. So most heavy-duty trucks, they come with a factory-installed hardware. This hardware is continuously sending information to the OEM's cloud via the device's cellular connection. What's important to note that the telematics hardware does not use the driver or the customer's cell phone to connect to the cloud. So this data is then transferred to the OEM's data lake for further processing and analytics. So this transitions into actionable insights such as what you can find on Navistar's on-command connection system. It tells you about the vehicle performance such as miles per gallon, harsh braking, number of stops over 100 miles, etc. But you know what? More importantly, it tells you about the vehicle health. It tells you about any active fault codes, what's the severity level of this fault codes, and what's the leeway. In other words, how long can you keep on driving before you have to stop your vehicle? And if you are a fleet owner, you would like to see your entire portfolio of vehicles in a single portal, regardless of the vehicle manufacturer. These are the basic building blocks of a good connected vehicle system. But the fact is that a connected vehicle is capable of doing much, much more. I'll tell you, a well-connected vehicle, and no pun intended, can provide information on thousands of parameters every second. In fact, there is no shortage of data available to fleets, no matter the size or vocation in commercial trucking. How can this data be used? Is all of this data actionable? Let us talk about that. The challenge, the key is knowing how to organize, integrate, and analyze the data in ways that can lead to actionable insights that drive your business goals. So there are two important pieces of advice here. Number one, keep your end goal in mind. What problem are you trying to solve? If you want to improve your fuel economy, then at a minimum, you should get a summary view of your entire fleet, average miles per gallon, harsh braking, percent idling, percent cruise control. There are many things that come to my mind. And you should be able to dissect this data based on the geographical location, the time of the day, the month of the year, the driver, etc. So what this does for you is this will not only help you identify where the problem is, but it will also help you take actions based on the data. For example, you may want to conduct driver training, create a gamification program, compare OEMs and their fuel economy performance, determine which options on a truck can help you improve your fuel economy, etc. So your end goal can help you identify what data you need to make decisions and take actions. Then number two, as a fleet owner, you are probably using a myriad of systems such as fleet maintenance software for planning and billing. You are using the fleet maintenance software for repair scheduling, etc. Then there is third-party telematics. For third-party telematics, you may be using it for EDL compliance, asset tracking, safety system integrations, etc. And then there is the OEM connected solution as well as the service communication system. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is you have one vehicle and multiple systems. That's why it is extremely important that all of these systems, they use the same database as a starting point. Now, there are a number of ways to do this. OEMs and third-party telematic solution providers, they are announcing new integrations all the time. And by now, most of you have heard the term API. If you have not, then make sure you read up on this topic and make sure you are taking advantage of it. At Navistar, we get API requests all the time from the customers, and we set this up in our on-command connection system as well as our service communication system known as i360. So another thing to keep in mind is to consolidate your hardware as much as possible. What does it mean by consolidating hardware? What this means is you do not want two different telematics devices in the truck sending information to multiple portals at different frequency intervals. Let me elaborate a bit more on this topic. The old systems require multiple pieces of hardware on a single vehicle. As an example, the OE telematics device is sending information from the vehicle to the OEM's cloud and subsequently to the OEM's connectivity portal. Similarly, the TSP's telematics device is sending information from the vehicle to the TSP's cloud and subsequently to the TSP's portal. Now you see you have to maintain two different hardware devices and make sure that they report the same data, hopefully at the same frequency. That's the situation today. Well, what I'll tell you is it's about to change. The new way of doing this is using factory installed hardware to send data to all the portals. You do not need two different devices. One device is feeding both the portals. So at Navistar, we very recently announced integration partnership with market leading TSP players such as Geotab and Samsara. That means when you buy an international truck with a telematics device and want to sign up with Geotab or Samsara as your TSP, you will not have to invest in two devices. Only one factory installed device by Navistar covered through a nationwide warranty will meet your needs. Additionally, you do not have to pay Navistar additional monthly premium to keep your device active after the 2-year complimentary period ends. So as long as you continue to subscribe to your TSP, your device will be active, and so will be your subscription to Navistar's on-command connection portal for remote diagnostics and vehicle health monitoring. And I'll tell you what, we are just getting started. Many such integrations are currently in progress. One device, nationwide warranty, and one payment plan to the TSP. This greatly reduces the complexity and helps you as the fleet owner to focus on your customer and your business. Once again, our motto is making lives easier. Now, let us talk about how big data is raising the bar in productivity, efficiency, and profitability. I could go on for hours about how the latest advancements in vehicle connectivity are changing our industry, like how prescriptive analytics will show not just problems, but the exact solutions, and how safety systems, including video capabilities, will notify drivers and fleet managers simultaneously. But today, I'll concentrate on the latest advancements in vehicle connectivity. So there have been significant breakthroughs in preventive maintenance and planning systems. In a survey conducted by Navistar, across about 100 customers, nearly half of the fleets were utilizing a preventive maintenance schedule for each class or vocation of the vehicle. So think about it, 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more. 1 PM schedule per class of vehicle. And in one class of vehicle, you can have thousands of units, if not more Another 36% of the fleets, they reported using a single PM schedule for the entire fleet, and only a mere 15% have adopted a VIN-based PM schedule model. Now, not all vehicles operate in the same environment. Vehicles have different applications. They all have different drivers, resulting in different levels of vehicle performance. I'll tell you the biggest disadvantage in using a single PM schedule across multiple vehicles is that very likely you as a fleet owner end up changing oil sooner, or in some cases even later than required. This is where vehicle connectivity comes into play. How about a system that tracks vehicle performance on a real-time basis and notifies you exactly when a maintenance is coming due? An advanced PM model does exactly that. Such a model can enable fleets to drive thousands of miles before an oil change when compared to standard protocols. In fact, we currently have 9 pilot customers and more than 3,000 vehicles on our advanced Preventive module in the on-command connection system. And I'll tell you, the results have been extremely impressive. Roughly 55% of the 3,000 plus vehicles that have been enrolled in advanced preventive maintenance can drive an additional 15 to 20,000 miles before an oil change. So in all cases, customers can save valuable dollars and reduce their maintenance cost, which could run into millions of dollars of savings for large fleets. Such an advanced preventive maintenance system helps you eliminate at least one oil change per year, which is our goal, making lives easier. So I talked about advanced maintenance a little bit. Let me tell you a little bit about predictive and prescriptive repairs. OEM installed telematics devices can collect thousands of parameters indicating both system and component level performance. The data is fueling many companies, both OEMs as well as third parties, to develop analytic models that can predict failures days before the event even happens. So think about it. It would be really cool if I can tell you that your EGR cooler or your EGR valve will be failing in about 2 weeks. While many companies are actively working on this, time will tell how reliable these models are. But what I can tell you is that all this is possible only through vehicle connectivity. Another thing then that vehicle connectivity can help you with is gamification and benchmarking. So with the plethora of data out there, fleets can assign a performance score to every driver and use the information to incentivize good driver behavior. And that can maximize fuel economy and improve safety. An example of benchmarking is geofencing. Geofencing has been around for a while, but lately we are seeing an accelerated adoption of geofencing in the industry. Geofencing allows you as the fleet manager to benchmark and compare uptime performance for both dealers and OEMs. It can help you identify those who can best help you maximize uptime. I'll tell you something, at Navistar we have geofenced over 7,000 service locations in the United States and Canada for both international and all makes dealers as well as service repair stations. And we can tell you exactly the dwell time of a vehicle across different all makes dealerships. Fleets can use this information to make truck purchasing and servicing decisions. Fleets can also geofence their delivery locations, allowing them to identify how long a vehicle was in the yard, where can they expect a longer stay time, and accordingly adjust their billing structure to their end customer. A good OE-TSP partnership can provide fleet owners with very robust prescriptive solutions. For example, fleet health monitoring available via Navistar's on-command connection provides a great overview to fleet managers about all the active vehicle fault codes, the severity of the fault code, along with a very comprehensive fault code action plan. So the fault code action plan, it provides a step-by-step diagnostic information, including estimated repair time, as well as the parts that are required to do the repair. Fleets can use this information to make decisions around when to pull a vehicle out of service and also determine which servicing dealer provides the best 24-hour turnaround time. Again, all of this possible thanks to vehicle connectivity. You know, when it comes to e-mobility and autonomous vehicles, those alternate fuel trucks will have their own data requirements, of course, right? However, customers will want to know some important parameters such as the range of the vehicle, the health of the battery, the nearest charging station, the idle fraction, etc. So needless to say, this is going to require both OEMs and TSPs to adjust both the telematics hardware as well as the customer portals to deliver the required information. There's a lot of work happening at Navistar and our TSP partners on this front. What I can tell you is vehicle connectivity is playing and will continue to play a very important role in these emerging areas. And lastly, I want you to have 3 key takeaways from this session. Number 1, first, not all the data is good data. So you have to focus on what data is actionable, and to determine what data is actionable, you have to start with the end goal in mind. Ask yourself, what problem are you trying to solve? Second, ensure that all systems are pulling information from the same hardware and the same database. Your IT group will thank you later for it. This will save you thousands of hours in data mining and clean up later, and will save you dollars in device and subscription cost. Try and consolidate on the hardware as much as possible. Not only it saves you cost, but also helps you improve your data accuracy. And the last item, connectivity is the key to a brighter future. The data usage in commercial vehicle space has only just begun. Leveraging the data available to us will be an ever-changing cycle. But what I can tell you is that it's safe to say that connected data from a solid OEM TSP partnership will enable fleets to save big bucks on operational cost, no matter the vehicle, improve your fuel efficiency, increase safety, help you with driver coaching and retention, and drive superior uptime. I sincerely appreciate the time to speak with you today and look forward to further opportunities to serve you. Thank you so much.